Choosing a TV unit seems simple, right? But it's one of those decisions that quietly shapes your entire living space. And if you're in the UK, what looks great in a showroom can often clash with the reality of our homes. Our specific wall types, our layouts, and even our rental agreements.
So just for a second, think about your own living room. What do you think is the single most important piece of furniture in there? Is it the sofa? The coffee table? Maybe that big screen on the wall?
Well, you might be surprised to hear this, but the furniture under your TV often has a much bigger impact on how the room works and feels than the screen itself. It dictates your storage, your layout, and the overall sense of calm or clutter in your home.
So in this explainer, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at why this piece of furniture is such an unseen giant in your living room. Then, we'll put our two main contenders head to head, the floating minimalist versus the flexible foundation. We'll get real about the day-to-day of living with each, and I'll give you a super simple 3-question framework to find your perfect fit. Let's dive in.
You see, our living rooms have changed. They're not just for watching telly anymore, are they? They've become these multi-purpose hubs for working, relaxing, and family life. And our furniture has had to keep up. The TV unit isn't just a stand anymore. It's a piece of core infrastructure that can seriously make or break the flexibility of your main living space.
Let's start with contender number 1, the wall-mounted unit. This is the one you see all over design magazines and Pinterest boards. It's the sleek, modern choice that promises a really clean, uncluttered look. And this slide shows its main appeal perfectly. By lifting the furniture off the ground like this, you create this fantastic illusion of space. The floor is clearer, which makes cleaning way easier, and the whole room just feels more open, which is a huge plus, especially in smaller UK homes. But, and this is a big but, here's where reality hits. On one side, you have the dream, that clean, floating unit. But on the other, you have the UK-specific challenges. First, your walls. Are they solid brick or a plasterboard stud wall? Get that wrong, and it's a disaster. Second, permission. If you're renting, drilling massive holes in the wall is usually a hard no. And finally, discipline. With less storage, you have to really commit to that minimalist lifestyle, or clutter is going to take you over fast. All right, on to our second option, the flexible foundation, or what we all know as the freestanding unit. And let's be really clear, we are not talking about those bulky, old-school entertainment centers from the past. Modern designs are a whole different world. Its definition is basically its superpower. No drilling, no permanent fixing, no asking the landlord for permission. It is all about adaptability and ease. You can buy it, build it, and put it in place all in one afternoon. So the key thing here is practicality. Think about trying to get furniture up a narrow Victorian hallway or around a tight staircase. A flat-pack freestanding unit makes that a total non-issue. Plus, they offer way more storage, which is an absolute lifesaver for hiding away remotes, consoles, and all that daily clutter. The only real challenge is just getting the scale right so it doesn't overwhelm the room. Okay, so we've looked at the styles, but what's it actually like to live with these units day in, day out? This is where the theory and the pretty pictures meet the reality of your daily routine. This table really breaks it down. Let's look at storage. A wall-mounted unit demands discipline, while a freestanding one is much more forgiving of life's messes. Then there are the cables. You can get that flawless, no-wires look with a wall-mounted unit, but it often means planning ahead and maybe even chasing wires into the wall. A freestanding unit is way simpler, often with built-in channels to hide them. But the biggest difference by far is flexibility. Wall-mounted is a permanent commitment. Freestanding moves with you, whether you're just rearranging the room for a change or actually moving house. So with all of that in mind, how do you actually decide? Okay, this next part is a really simple framework to cut through all the noise and find the answer that is genuinely right for your home and your life. It all comes down to these 3 questions. First, permanence. Are you settled and happy with your layout for the long haul? Or do you love to switch things up every now and then? Second, practicality. Be really honest with yourself about your stuff. Do you need a place to hide away controllers and cables? Or are you a true minimalist? And finally, permission. This is the big one. What do your actual walls or your tenancy agreement physically allow you to do? Your answer to this might just make the decision for you. So after all that, which one is better? Well, the truth is, there is no single winner. This isn't a competition. The goal isn't to declare one style superior, it's about finding the one that's the most suitable for you. And whichever one you choose, a few principles always apply. As you can see here, make sure the unit is wider than the TV for good visual balance. Keep the TV at a comfortable viewing height, that's roughly eye level when you're sat down. And remember, the best unit doesn't shout for attention, it just quietly supports the harmony of the room.
And this really says it all. The perfect choice isn't about following a trend. It's about choosing a piece of furniture that respects the reality of your home, works with your lifestyle, and feels just as right in 5 years as it does on day one. It's about making your living room a genuinely easy and comfortable place to live.